Welcome guys to the Meet Damien channel. I am Damien, and welcome. Hopefully you guys had a better week than what crypto's been having lately, because just about every single one of these cryptocurrencies is down for the week. We're looking right now at coinmarketcap.com. You can see Bitcoin's currently trading at 95,798. and is down 6.4% for the week. Ethereum at 2572, down 22.37% for the week, and the list goes on. Most of these cryptos are down double-digit percentage points here. XRP down 22%, Solana down 18%. If I just click over here on CoinMarketCap, click on the 7-day tab. Okay, Barachain's the only one that looks like it was having a good week. But if I just show you like who's been having the worst week here, you can see Virtual's Protocol down 44% for the week. Dog with Hat down 42% for the week. Pith Network down 39%. Pepe down 38%. Floki down 37%. Athena, Celestia, all down like 36, 37%. Injective. It's been a really bad week for altcoins in general. Which goes back to the narrative with the Bitcoin Maximus out there saying that you should actually be in Bitcoin before you start getting into any of these altcoins here, because you know, Bitcoin on a bad week is only down 6%, but these altcoins are down like 22% or more on a bad week. When Bitcoin's having a bad week, you know, when Bitcoin sneezes, the rest of these altcoins end up having a flu. Okay. They end up having some of the worst when it comes to price action here. We'll look at the charts. I just want to show you guys the overall market out there. It's not just you, it's like every single crypto out here is having a bad week. And you know, I just wanted you guys to get ideas like what's going on out there. We'll look at the Fear and Greed Index before we get into the charts here. This just gives you an idea as to like how much fearful or greedy people are right now. And the Fear and Greed Index, at least on coinmarketcap.com, is saying that the fear is at 35 right now. So people are fearful. They're not as greedy as they were like last month. This was in the 66. This was in the green. Now it's people are fearful. They're worried that they're going to lose their money, their fortunes. Their investments, their trades are not working the way they want them to work. Last week, this was actually in 54, so you know we were in neutral territory. But now people are starting to be fearful, and this is actually one of the best times to buy if you got the cash to do so. If you're interested in get involved in crypto for the first time here, now might be a good time to scoop up some relatively cheap altcoins if you want to get into altcoins. Even Bitcoin itself, even though Bitcoin is close to $100,000, you know, there's people out here saying that Bitcoin could get up to $150,000, $200,000 later on this year. And you know, getting Bitcoin right now in like the mid 90s, right below $100,000, might actually be a worthwhile investment if you're trying to get into crypto for the very first time here. You can see here that we have seen the Fear and Greed Index get as extremely greedy as like 92 back in March of 2024, and the worst that we've seen it was back like in September of last year. We've seen the Fear and Greed get as low as 26. So you know, this Fear and Greed Index being at the number 35 right now, it could go lower. That could happen next week, okay, or next month. I know some of you guys want to get it over and done with the greedy with the fear that is out there, but we might have a little bit more lower to go. This might even happen over the weekend when there's not that much money going into the markets and low volume. We might end up having a bad week. And we'll look at the charts. We'll look at the Bitcoin chart. I know this is a BTC live stream and we do technical analysis here, but I feel like it's very important for you guys to get ideas like what is going on out there all right, and what the sentiment is like out there, and like, you know, just looking at, you know, the Fear and Greed Index chart, okay, you can see that, you know, here we are at 35. We were kind of like in neutral territory like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, in like the 50s and 60s. But you can see like back here in like October, that's when people were greedy. That's when, you know, back in October and November, that's when we had Donald Trump get elected, and people were just really, really greedy going into December. And then finally things cooled down, and now we're in the fearful part, okay? And the fearful part is very similar to like where we were back here in like September and October of last year, when people were ready to about to give up on crypto, and then boom, you know, well, it didn't really happen just like as fast as Donald Trump got elected, but like sometime in October we started creeping up as far as like the price of Bitcoin, and then Donald Trump getting elected sent us up to higher highs on Bitcoin and crypto here. So right now, fear is is driving the sentiment out there in the market. You can see that, you know, we also had back in March of 2024, we were greedy, and then we came back down. So this is just a good idea. So like, you know, it is good to measure sentiment to figure out like if there's a lot of people out there that are like close to selling, if not already selling their crypto, then you could probably scoop up some relatively cheap crypto right now, and then sell it to the same people who will come back in once the greed index gets back up into the 80s and 90s here. Okay, but let's look at the Bitcoin chart here. We're gonna look at Bitcoin currently trading at $95,874. Hope you guys are able to see that. I'll just kind of like pull this out here a little bit more so you can see it. But yeah, Bitcoin's at $95,878 here. And we do have on the charts here, I do like looking at the Fibonacci analysis. I measured from the low that we just made back here in on Monday, January 13th, when we got down as low as like $89,000 here, up to the high of like $109,000, I believe like $300. And I measured out the fib levels here, and you can see that you know, we have some resistance here at the the 0.618 level, the $101,700 Bitcoin. Okay, you can see that you know, that's where we topped out here on January 3rd. Okay, I'm sorry, not January, February 3rd. Okay, we got up to that fib level and we got rejected. And we came down, and we've been hovering at like the 0.5 level, at the $99,000 level, and also the 0.382 level is giving us some support. But I recently did a YouTube short, and I said that if we're not able to maintain the $96,000 level, which is kind of like where we're at right now, if this does not hold here, then we're probably going to be coming down to that 0.236 level at 93,900. We're probably going to see Bitcoin lose about another couple of grand here. Just the way things are playing out here. I'm on the 4-hour chart here. See the 4-hour chart time frame. So each one of these candles is showing the 4-hour time frame. And on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that ever since like Donald Trump got inaugurated, we've just been making lower highs, which have been followed by lower lows, another lower high, another lower low, a lower high, lower low. And when does it end? Okay, when does this downtrend end? It seems like we keep getting a pushback here at like the low 90s. So maybe we got to come back down here and retest the $90,000 level one more time on Bitcoin. But I'll tell you what, you know, if we keep retesting the $90,000 level, which we've done like a few times now over the last couple of months here, okay, we're eventually going to break through that $90,000 level, and we're going to come down to lower prices here. And if we do come down to lower prices, right, where exactly could we possibly go? Let me just measure out the fib levels here, so you guys have an idea as like where we might go next here. And I'll pull up the VRVP so you can have an idea as like, you know, where Bitcoin might go next here. But if I measure from like the 109, you know, region down to like the impulse move here, when Donald Trump got elected, when Bitcoin was at like $67,000 roughly, it says that we have Like maybe the 0.5 level could give us some support at 88, 89,000, which is, I mean, that's pretty much $90,000. We've already kind of tested out already here on January 13th when we got down to $89,000. So we could come down there first, but then after that, if we go down further, we have $83,000, which is another level that investors are probably going to be eyeballing. $83,700 could be the next level. And if we decide to break past below that, then you have the 0.236 level saying $77,000 Bitcoin could be in the cards. And then what is that going to do to the altcoins out there? That's going to devastate a lot of altcoin investors, including myself, okay? Because I'm also heavily invested in altcoins. I got a big Solana bag. I got a big Sui bag myself. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty at all. Hello to MMA Squire. Thanks for coming on to the live stream. Go ahead and put in a request for your favorite altcoin or cryptocurrency that you want me to talk about. I'll be taking requests after I talk about Bitcoin here. But yeah. We have that for the fib level analysis here, okay? But then if we go into the VRVP, you see the VRVP, just looking out from a bird's eye view here, the point of control is at $67,000. $67,000 is where a lot of volume was traded on Bitcoin, okay? But we also have some volume here at like the mid 90s and $97,000, $98,000 Bitcoin. But we have a very big gap here where Bitcoin did not trade at $80,000 Bitcoin for too long, okay? There's no volume at $80,000, okay? If we drop, we could drop like a rock, to be honest. Because, I mean, look, how many days were we actually at $80,000 Bitcoin? If I go back here to like the beginning of November here, I have like November 9th, we got as high as like $76,000, and then November 10th is when we actually cracked through $80,000 Bitcoin, okay? And then November 11th, we were at 80,000 and we jumped all the way up to like $89,000 Bitcoin. And then the next day, we were at like $90,000 Bitcoin. And then the day after that was like, yeah, we were definitely in the $90,000 Bitcoin. So we only had like 2 or 3 days of being at $80,000 Bitcoin. There's not that much volume in that area. So if we do come down to $80,000 Bitcoin, you better hope and pray that we bounce off of that and we never come back down below $80,000 again, okay? Because, you know, if we stay in the $80,000 range for too long, I'm going to say that we're most likely going to then just retest $77,000 before we get more people excited again about Bitcoin and we get more people buying Bitcoin. You know, there's some people that missed out on this Bitcoin rally here back in November and December, and they would love to buy your Bitcoin right now for like $70,000 or $77,000. If you're willing to do that, then there are going to be people who will be buying your Bitcoin at that level there, okay? And they're salivating at the mouth right now to get that $77,000 Bitcoin all over again, or maybe $67,000 Bitcoin, okay? So, you know, unless buyers step up, unless people start buying Bitcoin again at these $90,000 level here, we're probably going to have to get people excited again about Bitcoin by having the price go down. Yeah. I see KG's in the chat. Nice to see you up there. You're on your work break. I appreciate you coming out here. Your most valuable asset is your time, and I appreciate you taking the time to come out to this live stream. Don't forget to hit that like button. That's the best way you can show you know, your appreciation for me as well. But I definitely appreciate you guys coming out to live stream. Don't be shy about asking me about what kind of cryptocurrency you want me to talk about next. I am starting to take requests right now. But we'll finish up on the Bitcoin analysis. I gave you guys mostly the bearish case on Bitcoin and the levels to look out for if we come down lower. What is the bullish case on Bitcoin? Well, you know, we gotta see Bitcoin start actually putting in the work here, okay? But what I do see is that we have been making higher highs over the last few weeks here, but we're making lower highs on the RSI. I want to see Bitcoin start making higher highs again on the RSI here, this red line here. Currently the RSI is at like 41 right now. Okay, and we have seen highs as like 64 and yeah, about 64 here. I want to see the RSI start pushing up and getting up to like 64 and 70. If we can get like 70 on the RSI, then that would be Bitcoin considered being overbought, and then that would probably most likely push the big price of Bitcoin up to higher highs, maybe an all-time high here. If I look back at the Fibonacci analysis here, the Fibonacci analysis is saying that the 1618, okay, we should see $135,000 Bitcoin. But is that going to happen anytime soon? You know, we're just trading sideways for the most part, frustrating everybody here. Let me get rid of the VRVP. The Fib analysis is saying, you know, we could get up to like $135,000 Bitcoin, right? Let's see what the trend analysis is saying. If we were to just continue on the trend like we did back in like October, November, and we just took that, and let me get rid of that, and we just took that trend and we come and break out like right here at like $97,000 Bitcoin. And go and just continue the trend. It's saying that the trend analysis is saying that we should see $145,000 Bitcoin. Okay, we could see 145,000, that blue number right there. We could see 145,000. So anywhere between like 135, $145,000 Bitcoin could be in the cards here for Bitcoin. Okay, those are my targets for Bitcoin. I'm not going to give you a specific date, but it's saying that probably most likely in 2025 we'll see Bitcoin at that level here. So getting Bitcoin at $95,000, you're looking at maybe like a 30, 40, or 50% increase in your investment here if you're willing to scoop up Bitcoin at $95,000. Let's take a look at Ethereum. It's another high market cryptocurrency coin. Ethereum is one of the weakest high market cryptocurrencies here. Ethereum on the RSI, look at the RSI, it's at 35 on the RSI. It's getting close to being oversold. Oversold is anything below 30. And last time Ethereum was oversold on the daily time frame was like right around here back in August, like the August 5th. And we've seen Ethereum have an RSI of like 20.6. Could that happen with Ethereum one more time? Maybe. You know, we might get another oversold condition. And then where would the price of Ethereum actually go if that's the case? Well, right here I see a lot of price support, a lot of sideways trading action at like $2,400 Ethereum. If you're able to scoop up Ethereum at $2,400, then you're probably doing pretty well right now, relatively speaking. I did see here on Ethereum we had like this nice hammer candle. Okay, this would have been a nice hammer candle if we got some follow through, but we didn't. Okay, Ethereum came as low as like 2150 here on Coinbase Exchange, and people saw that and they were ready to buy. Okay, but then what happened the next day? No one was buying, and we came back. We had a red candle here, and we had a green candle on Wednesday, and now we got a red candle on Thursday, another red candle on Friday. Do we have to go back down to $2,100 on Ethereum in order for us to get people excited to buy Ethereum? Because that's the way things are looking right now, at least on the charts here. I can't even do a Fibonacci analysis here because you know, the Fib level is saying that, you know, Ethereum should hold $2,700 as the 0.236 level. Okay, but we didn't even, did we got above that $2,700 level on Monday, and then what, Tuesday we closed at that level, and then we lost that level. So do we have to go back down to like below $2,400 on Ethereum just to get more people excited and more buyers to step in? Possibly. The bullish case on Ethereum is that, you know, I would be bullish on Ethereum if we can get above $3,000 and actually stay there and then go up to higher prices here. Ethereum is in a downtrend. We need a reversal here. We need either to see either a double bottom or some bullish divergence, which I do not see on the daily time frame here. There is no bullish divergence. There is no double bottoms here. Okay. Even the hammer candle, which would have been like a reversal candle, even that got, you know, played out as if it never even existed. And I'm just seeing here on Ethereum, right? It's just looking like a falling wedge. Okay. If I connect the lows here and then I connect the highs, you can see that Ethereum is pretty much in a falling wedge. And falling wedges are bullish 70% of the time. They break out to the upside. But we haven't even finished going down yet. If this is a falling wedge and we're going to treat this like a falling wedge, we could get like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could get like another week of Ethereum going down to like $2,100 before we finally get the breakout to the upside. And the breakout to the upside, it should happen 70% of the time, but 30% of the time we just keep on going down. Okay, on this falling wedge here. Okay, so nothing's set in stone. We're just working off of probabilities here. But Ethereum is in a falling wedge. Okay, for the most part, and that is the only bullish thing about Ethereum, is that it is in a falling wedge. It hasn't completed the falling wedge yet. If we're going to continue completing, we want to be somewhere like in this area before we start getting exciting and put some bids in on Ethereum. So I'm thinking like you could probably buy Ethereum at like $2,300 going into next week. You can put your stop loss at like $2,100, because if it goes below $2,100, you probably want nothing to do with Ethereum at that point. It just means something's wrong, something's broken with Ethereum, and you're just gonna have to throw in the towel and cut your losses. Okay, but you know, the upside to Ethereum is that, you know, we could get back up to like $3,000. You could buy Ethereum at like $2,300 or below, and then, you know, you could possibly cash out if it gets back up to like $3,300, which it was trading sideways at $3,200, $3,300 for the most part all throughout November and December. So you got a lot of sideways trading action that area. You also have the Fibonacci saying that it should be at $3,200. Okay, so that would be a nice move. And if Ethereum was able to do that, and you can get Ethereum at like $2,200, $2,300, and you can sell it at $3,300, you're looking at like a 47% trade. You're looking at like a 47% gainer on your trade there. Oh, thanks MMA Squire for talking about the background music. I actually had my brother Desmond come out with this music. He's I have to give music credits to him. I appreciate him giving me the music to play for this, so that way I don't get hit with a copyright strike from YouTube. But yeah, I wanted to play music that would not cause me to get a copyright strike, and also promote his music at the same time. So kudos to my brother Desmond. Okay, thank you for providing the great background music. Let's move on to XRP. We'll take a look at XRP chart. We're looking at XRP Ripple. And, you know, XRP Ripple looks like it's also in a falling wedge. You know, seems to be the topic, the flavor of the week right now is the falling wedge. Yeah. Or maybe even like a descending channel here. Okay. So, you know, if we're just going to be like heading this way, this direction on XRP, where could XRP get some, get a reversal possibly? Well, I'm seeing that maybe like the low $2 level. Okay. Maybe like psychological $2 level could be where XRP ends up going down to. And that could happen in the next few days here. We could see a $2 XRP, $2 Ripple. Okay. I think $2 Ripple is when the XRP army is going to come out all across social media. You'll probably see them on TikTok. You'll see them on YouTube. You'll see them on Twitter saying, $2 Ripple. You will not get a cheaper price than that, and you might actually do. Okay, there is no guarantees with any of these things here, but I feel like XRP Army is gonna try to defend $2 XRP to try and prevent XRP from going lower than that, and they might be right. Okay, because $2 XRP seems to be where we had some previous support here. You can see like right here back in on December 20th when we got down to like $1.95, buyers pushed the price back up to like $2.27. Same thing over here in December. When we got down to $1.90 on Ripple, we ended up closing out that day at $2.37. Okay, so people want $2 Ripple. That is a price target that I think a lot of buyers and investors are looking forward to, getting some cheap XRP at $2. Let me turn on the VRVP, see what the VRVP is saying. VRVP is saying that the point of control is actually right where we're at right now at $2.37. Wow, look at that, huh? Okay, $2.37 Ripple seems to be where most people were buying Ripple at over the last couple of months here. Okay, so if you're getting Ripple for less than $2.37, you're getting it for less than what most people were buying it over the last couple of months. But do we have high volume node? All right, this is the VRVP, this green and red, these green and red bars here. Okay, and you can see like at $2, yeah, there's some volume there. Okay, there's not as much volume as like the 220, 230 area, which is where we're at right now. But if we lose $2, we're probably not going to get more volume, and we're not going to get people excited again until Ripple gets to like $1.50. Okay, and if we're not able to hold $1.50, then look at this, another gap. You got yourself another gap, and we're probably going to end up coming right down to like $1.10 on Ripple before we might get more people excited about Ripple. Okay, and the doomsday number is that we just end up coming right back to 50 cents on Ripple. I know you guys don't want to hear that. I know some people are probably gonna quit the live stream just hearing that. But I mean, you do have some support here. There is some support at like $2. Is probably gonna be the heavy psychological support for Ripple, and then $1.50 is gonna be support as well. Let's see. Eddie's in the chat here. I appreciate you coming into the chat here, Eddie. I know you're big on Ethereum. We just talked about Ethereum about like 5-10 minutes ago. If you want to go back and look at that analysis again, okay. But we're on to Ripple here, and with my Ripple analysis, I did have the Fibonacci analysis measuring from the impulse here and beginning of January, going up to like that $3.40 level in the middle of January. And if Ripple is able to bounce off the $2 level, then I'm expecting there to be some resistance here at the 0.5 level at like $2.80 Ripple, and then also near $2.95. I feel like $3 people are gonna shy away from some traders and investors will probably sell it before it hits $3 because they're not sure if $3 is actually going to stick. But when we get to $3, that would actually be where probably going to be a lot of volume and trading action at $3, because not everybody is as bullish as some of these XRP Ripple Army investors are out there, and they're probably going to sell their Ripple for $3, especially if they bought it for $2. They'll cash in on that 50% trade. But the 1618 still holds true that we could see Ripple get up to like $4 for the bullish case here. We could see $4.12 Ripple. That is what the Fibonacci analysis is saying. Moving on to Solana. All right, let me get rid of the VRVP here. As I was saying, I believe on my last live stream here, I saw this these white lines are kind of like a little bit lopsided here, but this was like what I was calling a double top here, and at least locally, And it did play out, because like after that we got three more red candles, and we're not doing so well today either. We barely have a green candle here for Solana on the daily chart. Solana is only up 16 cents from yesterday's close. Solana not looking so healthy. Let's see. I have done previous Fibonacci analysis on Solana. The 0.236 level at 188 bucks is where Solana could get some support, and that's barely what we're holding on to right now. We're holding on to this 0.236 level. If we're not able to hold 0.236 level, then we could retest that low that we made here on February 3rd, when Solana was down at $176. Okay, and we might even retest this other low here back in January 13th, when we were at $169 on Solana. Okay, so a lot of these cryptos have not done well at all. I think the big narrative is that after Donald Trump got inaugurated, there hasn't really been much positive news about cryptocurrencies, at least not with all the excitement that was built upon his inauguration. We thought we were going to get a Bitcoin reserve. We got them talking about the Bitcoin reserve, but they've been talking about that since Donald Trump mentioned it in July of last year. Okay, they said no taxes on crypto. That hasn't come into play yet. Okay, no one has said anything about no taxes on crypto. What's another thing? Solana supposedly might have an ETF, but we don't know when. All right, so we're just in this like holding pattern here, guys. I feel like Solana should get like support at 170 or 189, which it's already at right now. But if it continues on, then we basically have this descending channel here, okay, which I just drew out for you, okay, and you can just count the days here. If we just continue on, right, look at the dates here, okay. If we take this to like Valentine's Day, February 14th, we could see Solana anywhere between 130 bucks at the low end, or if we're staying in this descending channel, we might see Solana at 180 bucks. So you got either 130 bucks on the low end or 180 bucks, but $200 Solana, it does not look like it's gonna happen if we continue on this downtrend, this descending channel here. Okay. That's my bearish case on Solana. The bullish case is that we just trade sideways and this descending channel is no longer in play. That would be like the next best thing. The best thing is for Solana to just go up the higher prices here, and maybe we get like a V-shaped recovery, and then we get something that looks like this, where Solana kind of shoots up back up that way, like a V-shaped recovery, and then we're back at $270 Solana sometime in like the middle of March here. Okay. So yeah, Solana right now, looking at the RSI, is at 37 on the RSI. If it keeps on selling off like it is now, you'll have oversold Solana going into like next week, most likely. MACD is also showing that the selling pressure is pretty steep right now, but we could keep getting more selling pressure. This can keep on going on, so that doesn't really give us an indication. What we would like to see on the MACD is less red candles. Like, we want to see the candles become pink, and then we want to see the candles start turning green, indicating that we have buying pressure on Solana. But right now we're probably we're either near the peak, or it's just going to continue getting worse, to be honest. Looking at the stochastic RSI is also pretty low. So I mean, you could throw your hat in the ring and buy some cheap Solana. Right now at $190. It looks like since I've been talking about Solana, the price has been going up now. But you can put your stop loss like right at, like, I would say put the stop loss at $167, because if Solana can't hold 169, 167, then you probably want nothing to do with Solana either. But with the stop loss at $170 roughly, or 167, what is that as far as like, percentage wise? You're risking 12%, okay? You're risking 12% right now to try and make maybe it's landing it right back to 270 again for like a 40%. So that's like a roughly a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. So I think the risk reward is good on Solana right now if you want to get some Solana right now. Okay. Let's move on to another cryptocurrency. Let's check out Sui, which is one of the competitors to Solana. And Sui's not looking good either. Also in a downtrend here. Okay. Looks like I can just draw a parallel channel here. Okay. We're in this descending channel here on Sui. And I'll just extend this out here some more. Okay. So that's what the descending channel looks like on Sui. Sui hasn't been able to make higher highs since January 4th when we got as high as $5.35 Sui. Okay. Sui could come down further some more here. Looks like we have some support at the $2.70 level here, which is 0.236, but I don't really see that much confluence other than the Fibonacci analysis is saying that we have support at 270. Maybe if I put on the let's see what the moving averages are saying. The moving averages are saying that Sui at like the 200 moving average is at $2.59, so that might actually be where Sui might get a bounce. Is like the $2.59, $2.60 area. So if you're able to scoop up some Sui at 270 or 260, you're probably doing pretty well for yourself right now. SPL's in the chat talking about Ethereum. Ethereum was like the second crypto that we looked at after we looked at Bitcoin. You can look back at the video, but I'll look at Ethereum one more time. I'll give you a quick synopsis after I'm done talking about Sui over here. You know, Sui's currently trading at $2.93. The bearish target is $2.60 on Sui. Okay. The bullish case is that we're able to start trading sideways and get out of this descending channel. And then we're probably going to get some resistance here at like where this 100 moving average is at like $3.90, which is also where the 0.618 level is at, roughly $4.06. So I'm expecting some resistance at like $3.90 and $4.30 on Sui before Sui is able to get above the moving averages and start an uptrend here. Yeah. Let me go back into Ethereum since you mentioned it here. So Ethereum is currently trading at $2,600, and just a synopsis, a brief summary of what I've already talked about with Ethereum. You know, Ethereum is in this falling wedge right here, and you know, Ethereum could get some support at like $2,400 here, but Ethereum, if it's gonna continue being bearish and go below $2,400, then we might end up retesting this low that we made here on February 3rd here, where we got to 2150, and that would take us probably to the resolution, the completion of this falling wedge. And the falling wedge is considered bullish. That is the only saving grace for Ethereum. But a falling wedge usually breaks out 70% of the time to the upside, but it could break down 30% of the time. It goes down further, or it just might trade sideways after that. Okay. So that is the synopsis on summary on Ethereum. If Ethereum does break out, I'm expecting it to get right back up to the $3,200 level, and if it does, that's about a 47% gain from if it starts. If you're able to scoop up Ethereum at $2,200, then at $3,200, you're basically getting yourself like a 47-50% gain on your investment with Ethereum. So that's Ethereum in a nutshell right there. All right, moving on to some other cryptos here. We'll take a look at XLM and then Cardano. Okay. XLM, Stellar Lumens. Once again, lower highs and lower lows. Okay, we have the lower high. The highest high that we made was back here in November where we got up as high as 63 cents on Stellar Lumens. And then we also have some another highs here in the beginning of December at like 55 cents. But after that, I mean, it's been lower lows and then another lower high and then lower low here on Stellar Lumens. Alright, surviving capitalism. This shit is not going straight down. I mean, usually, yeah, these cryptos don't go straight down or straight up for that matter. But we could, if we get another bad week here, these cryptos could come down pretty hard again, believe it or not. You're saying that this is not done going down. You might be right. You might be right. I do see some support here. Some sideways trading action at like 22, 24 cents. So Stellar Lumens could lose probably another 10 cents here before we get a bounce back. Let me turn on the VRVP, see what the VRVP is showing for volume. Looks like over here at 22, 23 cents, we have a high volume, a high volume node here. So yeah, I'm expecting Stellar Lumens, if it's going to continue being bearish, to come down to 22 cents, 23 cents, the low 20s here. Not good. Not good. Bullish case is that we get out of this descending channel that we're in with Stellar Lumens, and we come back to the high volume node here at like 43 cents. That would be what would be needed if we're going to be bullish on Stellar Lumens here. Alright. Surviving capital. Let me read what you're saying here. The prices are going to keep coming down. Market uncertainty. It's obvious to you. The only one that has a chance right now is Bitcoin, as too many hedge funds are playing in it. They need pricing consistency. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is going to do the best. If we're in this little mini bear market in crypto, is what I'm going to call it. You know, we can get a bear market inside a bull market. That is possible. And then Bitcoin is probably going to do the best out of all of them, okay? And then, you know, then some of the higher market cap cryptos like Ethereum, Solana might do pretty well, which they've already done pretty well while we've been selling off here. But even Ethereum and Solana and Ripple, you know, those high market cryptocurrencies are also going to take a beating as well, but not as bad of a beating as Bitcoin. So now might be the time, if you're really that scared but you don't want to go straight into cash, you still want to put your hat in the ring, now might be the time to just sell the old coins that you don't want or don't need or don't understand and go right back into Bitcoin again. Because Bitcoin won't go down as hard, and then maybe after the smoke and dust settles and clears out, you can try your hat at buying some cheaper altcoins in the next week or two here. But you know, you're right. There's the market doesn't like uncertainty, and the way things are going with Trump tariffs, always a possibility. And then what else is going on here? We don't have any certainty about the Bitcoin strategic reserve. We don't know what's going on with the ETFs. There's a lot of vacuum of knowledge and info out there, which I think we'll finally get some information about what they're doing with the ETFs and the Bitcoin reserve, probably like later on next month, in March maybe. But like also, we don't know what's going on with no tax for crypto. We haven't really heard them talk about that. There's no executive order about that. There's a lot of things that need to be worked on here in America when it comes to crypto, and the markets are just not liking the fact that we don't really have any positive catalysts. There's really no positive catalyst. We might get a positive catalyst going into next week with the CPI report. I just want to bring this to your attention here, guys. We have I like looking at Market Watch. It tells me what's going to happen with like the unemployment report and the CPI data and stuff, Federal Reserve, when they're going up next. Okay, and we have going into like next week here, right? Next week being Monday. Nothing going on in February 10th. Tuesday, Jerome Powell is actually going to testify before Congress. A couple of Fed presidents are going to be talking. But then Wednesday, you want to mark this down on your calendar here. We have the CPI data coming out on 8:30 on Wednesday, which is going to tell us how much inflation we have in the United States, which is going to then tell us whether or not the Federal Reserve is going to feel comfortable about lowering interest rates, which would then be a positive catalyst for the cryptocurrency markets if they actually lower interest rates. Excuse me. So yeah, they're expecting core CPI to be 3.1%. And they're expecting the overall CPI inflation to be about 2.8%. Okay. Last month it was 2.9%. So anything below 2.8%, the market's gonna love it, and you might see cryptocurrencies actually get a bump up in price, because the likelihood that they'll lower interest rates will start to increase the lower the inflation goes here. Okay. The Federal Reserve, they want their inflation target to be 2%, so we're a little bit high above it. But if the closer we get down to 2%, the more likely we are to see them lower interest rates. And then, of course, the other thing that they look at is unemployment. Okay, we did have the unemployment report come out actually today. Let me see. Let's see if I can pull this up here. And they're now counting this as last week here, but here on Friday, we had the unemployment report, or the employment report, saying that the U.S. jobs came in at 143,000 jobs for the month of January. They were expecting 169,000. The month before that was 307,000. So we are starting to lose job creation out there, which is probably going to cause the unemployment rate to go up eventually if we keep on this pace. And if unemployment goes up, right, then they're definitely going to lower interest rates, which is going to be good for crypto and good for the stock market as well. So we'll see how that goes over the next few months here. And, you know, with Donald Trump and the Republicans and Department of Government Efficiency trying to get rid of jobs and government jobs and wasteful spending, that might cause unemployment to go up some more, because of all these government workers looking for jobs. And then that might also actually lower interest rates, which would then be good for the stock market and good for crypto. So I know we don't want to be rooting for people to lose their jobs, but the one benefit is that it might actually cause the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates if more people are losing their jobs, unfortunately. Okay, let's go back into the charts here again. We're going to look at Cardano, and then I think we'll look at Bitcoin Cash as well. Okay, so let's look at Cardano ADA. ADA was let me get rid of the VRVP. ADA was in this symmetrical triangle for the longest time, and you know, it had to make a decision if it's going to break up or break down. And unfortunately for Cardano holders, it decided to break down out of that symmetrical triangle here. So I can just get rid of that. That's no longer in play here. Okay. And we're just making lower highs and lower lows, just like the rest of these cryptos here. We did have a bullish hammer candle here, which could have been a reversal candle if we had follow through, but we didn't. We ended up getting a few more red days here. 1, 2, 3, 4 more red days here. So that hammer candle got invalidated. And it's looking just like some of these other cryptos. Do we have to come right back down to the lows that we made here on Monday, where Cardano was at like 55 cents? Is that what we need to see in order for more traders and investors to get excited about buying Cardano again? That might be the case. And if that's the case, you know, then maybe that's when we get the reversal. You know, 55 cents also happens to be where we have some sideways trading action here on Cardano. So my target, my bearish price target, is about 55 cents on Cardano. Even though Cardano is currently trading at 70 cents right now, the bleeding might not be coming to an end until we get down to that 55 cent level here. And if I turn the VRVP, it probably says the same thing. Yeah, we got a high volume node here, like 55 cents. So, you know, if you guys are trying to get some Cardano, you could probably get it for a lot cheaper than what you can get it right now. And you probably get it for like 55 cents. 55 cent Cardano. And if that doesn't hold up, then, you know, look out below, because we have a small volume node here at like 44 cents, but the bigger volume node is saying that Cardano could come down to like 35 cents here, according to the VRVP. And that's like where Cardano was trading at back in the beginning of November. So it seems like a lot of these cryptocurrencies are basically giving us a round trip back to where we started from, okay? We started here on Cardano at 36 cents. We got as high as like $1.32 on the beginning of December. And it looks like we're coming back for a round trip to 35 cents all over again, okay? Which is very sad if that's going to be the case, okay? But it could be a possibility here. The only thing that we can only hope for is that we don't go lower than 55 cents on Cardano, and we can just call this a higher low, okay? I mean, the last higher low was here, so this is actually going to be kind of like a lower low if we're taking this into account. But yeah, we do not want to go lower than the 55 cent Cardano going into the near future here. I can't be bullish on Cardano until we get above the high volume node here at like 90 cents, okay? Where we have some sideways trading price action. Once Cardano gets above $1, yeah, you can say that we're probably back, you know, we're back in action again. We're so back, if you want to say that. Yeah. But, you know, 70 cents, maybe 70 cents does hold up, and you can just say that you scooped up some cheap Cardano at these prices here. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how the price plays out over the weekend here. MACD is showing a little bit of a light red candle here. You want to see more light red candles and then a green candle, which would indicate that there's some buying pressure going on the MACD here. But, you know, we'll just have to see how the next few days here play out. I feel like that's going to be the narrative for crypto. The next few days are going to be critical. Could be hectic, could be crazy. We could get another drop in price. Let me go back and look at the news here, because you never know what Donald Trump is going to do with tariffs here, which could send the markets down lower. Let's see if tariffs might be coming into play here. Here are the top news stories. All right, so this is probably why the markets are bleeding off again one more time. We have CNN article here saying that Trump announced more tariffs about an hour ago. Right here, Trump says he'll announce reciprocal tariffs on many countries next week. All right, so let's see what Reuters is saying here. Trump says he'll announce reciprocal tariffs on many countries next week. Here's a summary. Trump says U.S. auto tariffs. Hey, come on, get out of here. Trump says U.S. auto tariffs remain on the table. High tariffs to pay for extending 2017 tax cuts. Trump Republicans unveil tax and spending plan this weekend. Oh, interesting. So maybe there might be some good news. Maybe they might actually tell us the no tax on crypto. That could happen this weekend if that's part of their if they're going to reveal their tax and spending plan this weekend. So that might be the only catalyst for us to look for going into the weekend here. But the whole tariffs thing just throws a wrench into the economy and into crypto here. He says that Trump has not identified which countries will be hit, but suggested it will be a broad effort that could also help solve U.S. budget problems. So it sounds like Trump is going to be announcing tariffs on everybody. Trump told Republican lawmakers of his plans during his budget discussions on Thursday. Trump and top aides have said they plan to use higher tariffs on foreign imports to help pay for extending tax cuts. Independent budget analysts say could add trillions of dollars to the U.S. debt. Okay. Increased tariffs could offset some of that cost, though they've accounted for only 2% of the annual revenues in recent years. Trump announced tariffs on Canada and Mexico on Saturday, but delayed it after negative reaction from investors. The two largest U.S. trading partners agreed to increase enforcement efforts at the border. We already know that. So, any more news? Anything else that's new in the news? They're gonna do their tax and spending package this weekend. Faces a perilous path through Congress, where Republicans hold narrow majorities in the House and the Senate. Republicans are expected to rely on the arcane budget rules to bypass Democratic opposition, which will require them to work in lockstep. Okay. All right. Yep. So that's mainly the news right there. They're gonna come out with a tax and spending plan, but they're also gonna be coming out with more tariffs next week, and that's why the markets are kind of shitting crap in the bed right now. I think after we're done with all this talk about tariffs, we're probably going to catch a break in the altcoin market and catch a break with crypto and Bitcoin in general. Once people realize that these tariffs don't really affect crypto that much, it kind of does, because it makes the US dollar stronger, which defeats the whole case and narrative of Bitcoin being better than the weak dollar. Because if the dollar is getting stronger, that does make crypto less needed. Okay. But you know, it seems like Trump is using these tariffs as, well, at the moment he's just using it as a negotiating tool. So maybe he decides to take the tariffs off when he gets countries to give in to his demands for what he really wants with those countries. I feel like the tariffs will still be in play, but they won't be as significant as the markets might fear, because Trump is a businessman and he's not dumb. Even though some people think he's dumb, he's not that dumb, because you know, he made billions of dollars. So how dumb could he possibly be if he's ended up being a billionaire? I feel like he's using these as negotiating tools, and he will get some money off of it, but it's not the kind of money that he's promising. I am interested to see what he's going to do with the tax cuts, and whether or not we'll get a no tax on crypto. Okay, that would be probably the significant catalyst that gets us out of this funk that we're in with crypto, to send Bitcoin back up to like $120,000, $130,000. Not back up to, but like start heading in that direction. Okay. But we have Bitcoin. We'll finish the analysis here with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at $96,300. I can't remember if that, I think that is slightly higher than when I started off this live stream here. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. Yeah, we have creeped up a little bit higher since I started the stream here. That is a little bit of a bottom in action there on Bitcoin. You can also see that we have a bullish divergence, okay? Lower lows and then higher lows here on the RSI. So we are bouncing off of that $95,000 level there on Bitcoin. But going back to my analysis here on Bitcoin, you know, if we lose $96,000, we're gonna come down to $94,000, which was like where my Fib analysis node, which I don't have anymore, that was where what we were eyeballing. If we are not able to hold $93,000, then $90,000 is the last resort, and then after $90,000, we could come straight right down to like $77,000 on Bitcoin. That's the bearish case on the Bitcoin charts here. The bullish case is that we actually somehow make it past these Trump tariffs and the uncertainty in the economy, and we're able to get to $120,000, $130,000 Bitcoin in the near future here. All right, that's gonna be it for this live stream here, guys. I appreciate you guys coming on. I've been on for about an hour. That's usually how long these live streams go. And my next live stream is going to be on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, East Coast time. So be on the lookout for my next live stream on Sunday here, guys. That's it. Good luck in whatever trading and investments you guys decide to get into. And I appreciate the requests. Looking forward to doing this again on Sunday. Take care, guys.